Hello, everybody. Welcome to predictions for midweek round 17. We are back into it after the international break. Sam, not much in it for us last weekend, but one bob on did just sink the win for me. I had Oxford 1, Borough 1. Otherwise, we were completely even. I've taken that one 7-5 for an 11-2 lead. And thank you for coming on a rare Sunday night recording for us here to cope with the 3-game week. How you doing, boss?
Oh, I'm disappointed now you've read that out.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, predicting 5 outcomes is not too shabby, to be honest. I thought that we had the run of it a little bit this weekend, so disappointed I didn't get any nailed. But hopefully, better luck this week. I'm gonna claw it back, mate. Don't start getting it engraved yet. The trophy. I'm gonna get back at you.
Okay. The metaphorical trophy. Do we just chalk off? I just owe you one less dinner
You owe
after
me like
your
3 meals, don't you, from the last
wins
2
for the
years?
last few
Yeah,
years.
you
In
owe me
this one.
2 big nights out, which I'm yet to see. So yeah, keep your powder dry, mate.
We do have one public apology, which is coming in game 6, which I'm actually quite pleased to give this week. An interesting one. Get involved down in the comments with your predictions for round 17. And I love not being first for this one because we start off, Sam, with Hull, free scoring, box office Hull, versus unpredictable but better away than at home,
Yeah.
Ipswich.
Yeah, I mean, my brother was at QPR at the weekend and said it was a brilliant second half performance from Rangers, but obviously had to come from behind, and Hull have been nothing short of magnificent at home. So I think here, despite Ipswich winning the last two, I have to give the Tigers something, and I'm going to go for it in the shape of a draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 here because I can't really separate these two at the moment.
Do you know what? I might play for the bonus point here then, because it does feel like, as you said, Hull good at home. It's a definite both teams to score, isn't it? And this might be a good opponent actually for Ipswich, one that doesn't, kind of sit and set up to defend. But yeah, with Gelhardt and with the 28 goals that Hull have scored, I think I might go for a 3-3 here, Sam. I don't think
Wow.
has anybody ever got a bob on with a 3-3 in these shows? Probably
Well,
not.
I'd imagine there's been the odd 3-2, but I can't recall a
Yeah.
3-3.
By the way, 3-3-2s in the round 16 results. So there were bonus points up for grabs at the
Hmm.
weekend. One of them did involve Hull. I will go straight in there. I agree with you. High score and draw. I will go 3-3. And my God, we've got it for about the second time in 3 weeks, Sam. It's first against second. And it's Coventry going away to Middlesbrough. Now, last time we had to issue a public apology here because Stoke were in great form, weren't they? We thought they might pip Coventry, but Coventry went there, got the win. Coventry are just head and shoulders the strongest team in this league at the moment, aren't they? They're just the one that's got everything together right now. 9 wins in 10. It would be a big statement, Sam. I've had my fingers burnt with Coventry's win at Stoke. I'm hoping you're going to calm me down here so we don't have to do another public apology, but I'm going to back the away win. And I think you're almost putting blue and white, sky blue ribbons on the blooming trophy if they win this one as well. And that would put them 10 points clear, wouldn't it, at the top of the table? I'm gonna go for it. What was it in the playoff semi? It was 1-0, wasn't it? Let's go for that. Middlesbrough
Yeah.
0, Coventry 1, Sam.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. Obviously, the uncertainty of the last couple of weeks for Middlesbrough. I think Coventry are a better side, clearly, right now. Don't think there's any doubt about that. And it didn't look perfect by any stretch at Oxford last time out for Middlesbrough. So I am going to go for that uncertainty to rule here. Coventry in a great place. I'm going to go 2-0.
Wow. Sam, Norwich versus Oxford. This is so big at the bottom of the table. Norwich lost
Yep.
for the 8th time in 9 games. They are 5 points behind Oxford. They can't lose this.
No, and I don't think they will. In fact, I'm going to go for them to win. And that's no slight on Oxford, who I had to draw, I think, against Middlesbrough. I thought they were good value to get a point in that one. I'm going to go for Norwich to get their elusive first home win of the season with a new manager. Yeah, I'm going to go for them to find something and scrape a 1-0 by hook or crook.
Well, in which case, Sam, I'm going to cover our backs then, because I don't want both of us to predict a Norwich win here. I was going to go for the Norwich win, but now you've covered it, I'm going to move across to the draw, which would be a good result for Oxford because it's an arm's length thing, and Norwich would be very frustrated. Can you see Norwich kind of getting a goal up and Oxford equalising in minute 91 or something ludicrous like that?
I could see Norwich losing 2-0 and not laying the glove on Oxford, mate, quite as easily. But I'm going to go with the romance of a game under the lights with a fresh start.
I'm going to cover our backs then, mate. I'm going to go 1-1 and an unhelpful draw for Norwich, but a pretty helpful one for Oxford. I'm not going to start predicting Norwich. I'm going to wait for Norwich to win before you can be ahead of the curve. I'll just follow you, mate. Stoke versus Charlton. I mean, what the hell? Charlton, one of our best defences and most organised team, conceding 4 goals in 8 minutes. Utterly ludicrous. I'm looking for chances to play a 0-0. One of your theories, Sam, is that midweek games in a 3-game week in winter can be low scoring. So I'll take this as my 0-0, and I think Nathan Jones will have Bree back because he was embargoed, obviously, for playing against his loney parent club. Both teams losing at the weekend. Let's go for a clean sheet, a point each. I'm going to play my 0-0.
Yeah, it might be tough for Stoke to turn it on to the degree that I'm about to predict. However, they did thump Bristol City, and I think that probably could take some getting over. That defeat for Charlton, although...
What the hell, Sam? What the hell happened?
I think they came up against an inspired side, didn't they, really? Who were just poetry in that first half. It was a little bit of an anomaly, wasn't it? And I think they just have to wipe the slate clean. However, I like Stoke here, and I'm going to go Stoke comfortably in this one. I like them when they get it right. 2-0, home side.
Swansea versus Derby, Sam. Is that can I do a Morgan Whittaker Derby for that? I can, can't I?
Yeah, I mean...
You play for both?
Yeah, I mean, I was otherwise engaged, but I strongly fancied Derby on Saturday, and obviously there were 2 goals to the good after about an hour, weren't they? So I thought
more of that in just a minute, Sam.
Yeah,
I think you know where we're going with that.
I thought that was going swimmingly. You can pick apart what happened in that second half. You know, various ingredients probably went into them. Losing that lead, could they have done 1 or 2 things better? Absolutely. But I think, again, in a similar note to the Charlton Southampton game we just referenced, I think they just have to wipe that clean. They've been on a good run. And I think they respond here against a team that's certainly got a little bit more chaos surrounding them at the moment in Swansea. So I'm going to go for Derby to nick this 1-0. Probably be wet, probably be ugly. Derby to nick it.
Yeah, scribble, Sam. I've got that down as 1-0 Derby. I'd probably even raise it. They've scored 10 from set play now, and it seems that Ward, the right wing-back, is getting tons of assists. So, yeah, I think the lack of organisation and problems at Swansea in terms of finding a manager, that I think they might even go 0 point week for this 3 while they're sorting that out. So I agree with you. They're not good in front of goal, so I do like the Derby clean sheet, but you've taken it. I can't see Derby winning by 2, Sam, so I'm going to go 2-1. I'll give the Swans a goal, but I agree with everything you said. Derby back to winning ways. Right, Sam, I'll do it this week. Watford versus Preston. Well played, Watford. Public apology. We both had Derby off the back of a winning streak, and they were bloody 2-0 up and snatched it at the end. So I'm quite happy to issue a public apology here to Watford. First away win. Well played. Job done. Public apology noted to you Hornets fans. They've got Preston here, Sam, and I'm a bit confused by Preston because I just reconciled the fact that they were good and we were coming back for an international break, and then they lose a home derby against Blackburn. I do quite like Watford at home, so I'm going to go back-to-back wins for Watford and back-to-back defeats for Preston. I know you're quite hot on Preston, so you'll probably even me out. Loses the guy. I quite like the striker, Sam. Keremgard. He looks a good finisher, doesn't he? 2-1 Watford, home win.
Yeah, there's an inconsistency there, of course, but that was a bit of a statement victory for them at Derby. Celebrated raucously in the corner, and Preston, I think, rightly, tight game, but rightly beaten in that derby by Blackburn, who shaded that one. I'm going to go for Watford with you, mate. I'm going to go for Watford by just courtesy of the one goal, 1-0.
Southampton, Leicester, Sam, is a year one parachute derby.
I think I was at this one 2 years ago, maybe. Can't recall the outcome. I can. Leicester won 4-1.
God, I remember the other game because Fatawu scored a hat-trick at King Power, didn't I? I can't remember this one.
Leicester, I think, won 4-1. Mavadidi got one on the break.
Was this when Russ was really struggling in September? Yeah,
he was
you're
really
right. Yeah.
Under it. He was really under it. And I'm not suggesting that Leicester arrive in similar fettle to how Southampton were then, but I think given the last three results, Southampton are in a slightly better place despite Leicester's win at the weekend. And I'm going to go for it to continue. An unprecedented 4 straight wins for the Saints. I'm going to go quite big as well. 3-1, maybe 2-1, tight, get one on the break late on. 3-1 Saints.
Well, I agree with everything you said up until the margin of victory. I like Southampton for the streak. I still think Leicester, even you look at that game at the weekend, it's still keeping it tight, and Mavadidi smashes a worldie in off the underside of the bar and a quick breakaway for Daka. So it's good news for Leicester that a couple of their expensive, potentially misfiring players are scoring. I just don't see it being quite that loose with Cifuentes set up, but I do think Southampton will win. I just think they're on a roll now. They're going to be hyped up, confident, but I'll take it as a 1-0, Sam. I think it's going to be tighter than you're imagining. So 1-0 Saints. Blackburn versus QPR. I mean, the only inevitability here is Sam Parkin mentioning Roy Wegerle in the next 2 minutes, which is definitely going to happen. I'm sorry, mate. Big Valley's doing a really good job there at Blackburn at the moment. 4 wins in 5. He's missing Cantwell, the captain, Wharton, probably the best centre-back they've got, and the keeper as well. And he's got a run of 4 wins in 5 with, youth players coming through and the normal problems at Blackburn. I don't know if it starts yet. I know they have a run of 5 home games in 7 as well. So I think they might have a little move up the table. I'm going to back against your boys here, Sam. I'm going to go 2-1 Rovers.
Yeah, that's a scribble for me, and it might force me into changing my mind. I think they've had 4. They've had 4 away wins now, haven't they? I think Blackburn, which is some
Really?
going. Success on the road rather than at Ewood on a consistent basis. It feels like QPR don't win at Ewood Park. I'm going back to the days of Shearer here.
Sam, can I dive in? Second most points away from home in the whole division, Blackburn.
Right,
It's a good shout, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, no, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing QPR and I'm seeing Shearer scoring against QPR wearing a red kit with black trim. You've had the 2-1. Do you know what? I'll go for QPR to be buoyant after that and maybe Blackburn to just suffer from a little bit of post-derby fatigue. I will play there's a few 1-1s I've got written down here, but I'm going to play a 1-1 here for Rangers.
Millwall Wednesday, Sam. Millwall went under to a couple of worldies at Pompey, and I must confess, I've been to see my father today. I know Sheffield Wednesday have lost 3-0, but I have seen 0 seconds of that game, so I can tell you nothing about it.
No, I was in the car. I was actually at the cinema and running various errands with my boys this morning. So I only watched the last 25 minutes or so when it was a canter. I think obvious disappointment because it's a derby against Sheffield United, but the fans, despite all the problems in their plight, would have expected a bit more from the chaps today, I'm sure. So they'll need a response, but they won't get it at Millwall, I don't think. And I'm going to go for Millwall comfortably 2-0.
Yeah, I like Millwall to bounce back in this one. Ivanovic has scored back-to-back games now, hasn't he? So maybe we're actually going to get what we anticipated from him, a little bit of a scoring run. I don't mind 2-0, actually, Sam. I might go for looser then. I'll go for the same margin of victory. I'll go 3-1. Sheffield Wednesday to get themselves a goal, but yeah, the long hard winter continues for the Owls. Millwall bounce back. Sheffield United versus Portsmouth. No idea what to say for this one. Obviously, I'm guessing we're at the Wednesday night games now, aren't we? So yeah, there's maybe less of an issue there. I suppose Sheffield United haven't really had to travel today, have they, in respect of them being in the same city that they would have been anyway, so I'm not sure it's an issue then playing later. You think Portsmouth can take a point in this one, Sam? I'm not sure. I think I might back Sheffield United to go back to back. They're a bit streaky, aren't they? I think they looked like they were going to get going, and then they went on a losing streak, up and down. Let's go for back to back Blades. 1-0 home win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of thought Pompey for a point here, but I just think how much did that take out of them at the weekend in a it's not must win, but it's an enormous victory for them over Millwall. That was a colossal result given their recent woes.
Back, you like him?
Yeah, absolutely. I just think if anything's going to amount to proving as a turning point, it has to be a derby win for Sheffield United today. So because of that, I'm going to go for Sheffield United. I think this was a game last year where Portsmouth had loads of chances but just couldn't convert. And if memory serves, Sheffield United end up winning. I'm going to go for the same outcome, but 2-1.
Wrexham, Sam, got a point at Ipswich without Kiefer Moore or Kabore or O'Brien starting.
Right.
And they are at home to Bristol City, who had a great win over maybe beleaguered Swansea. But up to fourth, Bristol City. And Knight back. God, who else was back? Borges. McCrory was back. There was someone else in central midfield who I'm forgetting as well. But you're going to talk and I'm going to look it up. Wrexham, Bristol City.
Maybe my case can be strengthened then by those absentees for Wrexham. I think Bristol City are one of the better teams on the road. I think they've had one defeat. And with players returning. Sykes, with players returning, I think they're good for a share of the spoils here. And Wrexham a little bit hit and miss in front of their own fans. I'll go for a 1-1 here. Yeah,
that's a scribble. I can't really separate the two unless Big Kiefer's back. I might give Wrexham the win. Doesn't feel like a 2-2, does it, Sam? Not with Wrexham. I'm going to go a 1-0 home win, and there's not much logic behind that at all. I just have a little hunch for Wrexham at home in a midweeker there, and maybe Bristol City to bounce back at the weekend. Finally, Sam, it's West Brom versus Birmingham. Felt sorry for Ryan Mason. I watched that Coventry game as a watch along, and we will never know 11 versus 11 whether they could have gone on and got something. But a really bloody boneheaded second yellow card from Malumbi means that Ryan Mason set it up and it was working. And as I say, they could have lost anyway. But Birmingham are purring, aren't they? And the underlying numbers say Birmingham are going to keep climbing the table. So I might play the away win here. I think they're definitely going to get something, Blues, aren't they? Are they ready for an away win? Possibly not. Maybe I'll go the draw. 1-1.
Well, I'm glad that's your final line of the evening, mate, because I'm more than happy to go with Birmingham here. And I think it's the same sentiment, albeit points separating them. But I think, Coventry are a better side than Middlesbrough right now. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work that out. And I think Birmingham are a better side than West Brom, even having to travel the short distance. But I'll go for a tight one. But I think 2-1 Birmingham.
Yeah, you're making me rethink that, Vince, how confident you were.
I'm confident across the board here. This is going to be a victory for me.
But I've locked it in
this
now.
Midweek, I'm feeling good.
Right, get involved down there in the comments. Super, super quick turnaround. So get in there really, really quickly. Apologies, we've kind of rattled through on a Sunday night here, but we want to keep this up to date for you each and every single round. Sam will, of course, be back on Thursday because we're 3-game week in, and will be another load of predictions. And then we will relax a little bit. I'll calm down and not hit the microphone as I'm talking, and we'll do a proper look at where we're at. And that'll be at the end of round 18 with possibly Coventry winning a massive key head-to-head and having a big week. So it could be it could be some clarity by the time we do the championship check-in next week, Sam, I wonder.
Yeah, quite possibly. Hopefully we've got all managers in place and we can
that's a good point.
Get our heads around how everyone's going to look over the Christmas period and beyond. But I mean, it was a crazy weekend, wasn't it? So we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves. I'm not going to be too hard on myself getting 5 results correct because I was sat in the Fulham press room on Saturday and it was, I think, was it 5-0 to Southampton or 4-0 to Southampton when I walked in?
25 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and
West Brom were probably a goal up at that point as well.
Yeah, the results were mad. Yeah, I mean, but just to double down on what I said about Coventry, even at 2-0, glancing up, yeah, you knew there was still an opportunity for them to rekindle and get some points. And that was, I suppose, that victory was very in keeping with last year when there was quite a few deficits that they overturned and late goals going in at the Cov Stadium. So yeah, shouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Sam, so much. That is your predictions for round 16. Down there in the comments, please, big thumbs up if you enjoy the show. We know a lot of you really do. And hit that subscribe button to be notified each and every time myself and Sam are on here for the Championship predictions.